Okay, so get this. We're diving into this research paper. It's all about
Uh-huh.
a new medical language understanding model called BioMistral-NLU.
Okay.
Now, you are always asking about AI in healthcare, right?
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
we thought this would be right up your alley. We dug deep into this research to
All
see
right.
what's really going on with this BioMistral-NLU, you know?
Yeah, it's amazing
It really is.
like how researchers are making AI actually understand medical language.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
it's going way beyond just like knowing the terms. It's really interesting.
it's like teaching a computer to think like a doctor or something, right?
Right.
The paper points out that while models like,
Yeah.
ChatGPT are really impressive,
Hmm.
they struggle with all the nuances and the intricacies of medical, like, jargon.
Exactly. Like think about it.
Yeah.
Medical language understanding,
Yeah.
it involves extracting information from like patient records
Right.
or like comprehending dense research papers and like making connections.
Yeah.
A general purpose model might miss entirely.
Totally. So how did they create this medical AI whiz? Like,
Yeah.
where did they even start?
So they started with an existing medical language model called BioMistral,
Okay.
and then to refine it, they used a specialized instruction tuning dataset called MNLU-Instruct.
Okay. So they had this BioMistral, and then they kind of like fine-tuned it even further,
Yeah,
or?
yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it, got it.
And so this dataset
Yeah.
is designed to cover a wide array of medical language understanding tasks, like identifying key medical terms, classifying documents, and even figuring out how similar two medical sentences are in meaning.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
really amazing. So it's not just learning vocabulary, it's learning how to actually
Right.
use it and understand it in different contexts.
That's right.
That's really neat.
And get this, the researchers actually turned
Yeah.
those complex tasks into text generation problems.
Okay.
So they made it easier for BioMistral NLU to learn.
Yeah.
So they basically taught it to understand medical language
Okay.
by having it generate responses.
Oh, so they kind of turned it into like a conversational.
Yeah, almost like it's having a conversation.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
And they make sure the input format was standardized so it can be used for various medical tasks. It's like giving it a universal translator for all things medical.
Yeah, exactly. And the results are pretty remarkable.
Okay.
They tested BioMistral NLU on benchmark data sets, and it blew past not only the original BioMistral model, but also ChatGPT in most tasks.
Hold on, it actually outperformed ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I thought ChatGPT was like the ultimate
I know.
language AI.
It is incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
But this research shows that like specialized training
Right.
can lead to even better performance in specific domains.
Okay.
BioMistral NLU even went head-to-head with GPT-4.
Wow.
And in some cases, it actually came out on top, especially when it comes to pinpointing those crucial medical terms.
That's incredible.
It's a true champion.
This is mind-blowing. So what's the secret sauce here?
Right.
What makes BioMistral NLU
So,
so good at understanding medical language?
well, one key factor is the diversity of tasks it was trained on.
Okay.
The researchers found that by exposing it to a wider range of challenges,
Yeah.
they created a more adaptable and robust model.
So it's like cross-training for your brain, but for an AI.
Yeah.
Like the more it learns, the better it gets at understanding all
Like
these different aspects of medical language.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they also discovered that like focusing on one type of medical data during training
Okay.
led to better performance on similar tasks later on.
Okay.
So for example, if you train it mostly on biomedical research papers,
Right.
it'll excel at analyzing research.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like specializing in a
Yeah.
specific area of medicine.
Exactly.
You become an expert in that field by focusing your learning. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
But here's the kicker.
Yeah.
Sometimes mixing different types of medical data,
Okay.
like clinical notes and research papers,
Yeah.
actually hindered performance.
Really? So sometimes focusing on one type of data is better.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
It appears that different types of medical texts have distinct linguistic patterns,
Okay.
and sticking to one domain during training can be more beneficial for specific tasks.
Right.
It's almost like,
It's like trying to learn two languages at once.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, it can get
That
confusing.
can get really confusing.
So training data plays a crucial role in how well these models perform.
Yeah.
But is BioMistral NLU perfect?
Right.
Does it ever make mistakes?
Well, No AI is perfect.
Right.
And the researchers acknowledge that BioMistral-NLU still has room for improvement, especially when dealing with, like, subtle distinctions in medical language.
So it's not going to be replacing doctors anytime soon?
Not quite.
Okay.
But it gives us a glimpse into the future of AI in healthcare. Imagine a world where medical records are analyzed instantly.
Yeah,
Research is summarized in seconds.
that would be incredible.
And chatbots can provide accurate medical advice. Like, the possibilities are mind-blowing.
That sounds like science fiction is becoming reality here.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
it is.
But before we get too carried away with the future,
Yeah.
let's dig a little deeper into how BioMistral-NLU actually works.
Oh, yeah.
What are some of the design choices that make it so effective?
So one of the key innovations is how they turned those complex medical language understanding tasks
Right.
into text generation problems.
Okay.
By having the model generate text as output.
Yeah.
They made the learning process more natural and intuitive.
So it's not just about memorizing definitions, it's about actually learning to express its understanding
Yes.
of medical concepts
Exactly.
in a human-like way. That's pretty amazing.
It is, and this approach could have major implications for how we design future AI models,
Wow.
especially those meant to interact with patients or provide explanations to healthcare professionals. It's all about making AI more conversational and relatable, which is crucial in a field like healthcare.
Absolutely. Clear communication is key
Yes.
in any medical setting.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious about how this new model stacks up against the competition.
Okay.
You mentioned that it outperformed ChatGPT in some areas, but what about other large language models? Did they test it against any other big names?
They did.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Tell me more about this AI showdown. Who were the contenders?
Okay.
And how did BioMistral-NLU fare against them?
Well, think of it like a medical AI Olympics.
Okay.
In one corner, you had the heavyweights, ChatGPT and GPT-4,
Yeah.
known for their general brilliance in language tasks.
Those are some tough competitors to go up against. It's like entering a spelling bee against a dictionary.
Right. But BioMistral-NLU held its own.
Okay.
It consistently outperformed the original BioMistral, which isn't surprising given the focused training it received.
Practice makes perfect, even for AI, I guess, but how did it actually perform
Right.
against those general language powerhouses?
That's where it gets interesting. BioMistral-NLU was neck and neck with ChatGPT,
Okay.
even outperforming it in some of those core medical language understanding tasks.
Wow. So even though it's a specialist, it could still keep up with the generalists
Yeah.
in many areas. That's impressive.
Exactly. Now, GPT-4, being the larger and more extensively trained model,
Right.
did have an edge in some of the more complex reasoning tasks.
It's like comparing a seasoned medical specialist to a brilliant general practitioner.
Yes.
Each has their own strengths.
A perfect analogy.
Mhm.
But what's key here is that BioMistral-NLU's performance really highlights
Yeah.
the power of focused, domain-specific training
Right.
when it comes to understanding the intricacies of medical language.
Okay.
A specialist can sometimes outshine even the most gifted generalist.
Makes sense. If I needed heart surgery, I'd want a cardiologist, not just a general doctor. Right. Even if they were top of their class.
Exactly.
So does this mean we'll be seeing highly specialized AI models for every medical field?
That's the idea.
Wow.
Imagine AI models for radiology, oncology, cardiology, each a master in its domain.
Right.
This kind of specialization could lead to more accurate diagnoses,
Okay.
more personalized treatments,
Right.
and ultimately better patient outcomes.
That's an exciting future, but how do we ensure these specialized models work together?
Yeah,
It's not like a patient's health issues are neatly compartmentalized.
you're right. And that's something researchers are already tackling.
Okay.
Imagine a system where these specialized AI models communicate with each other,
Okay.
sharing insights and collaborating for a complete picture of a patient's health.
It's like having a team of specialists working together, just like in a real hospital, but with AI.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got these incredible AI models that can decode medical language like never before.
Yeah.
But let's not forget that language is just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to healthcare. There's also the human element,
Yes.
the patients, the doctors, the nurses.
Absolutely. Technology, no matter how advanced, should never replace the human aspect of healthcare.
Right. It's about augmenting human capabilities, not replacing human connection.
Mm-hmm.
It's like having a super smart assistant,
Right.
not a robot doctor.
Exactly. The goal is to create a synergy between human expertise and AI,
Right.
leading to better diagnoses, more personalized treatments, and a more patient-centered approach to care.
Now let's talk about some of the fascinating details the researchers uncovered about how
Yeah.
BioMistral-NLU works
Yeah.
and what makes it so effective.
Okay.
They really dug deep into the inner workings of this model.
They did. They found that including a wider variety of medical language understanding tasks
Okay.
during training significantly boosted the model's performance.
So exposing it to different aspects of medical language helps it learn better overall.
Yeah.
Just like with humans, the more you practice, the better you become.
Precisely. They also discovered that training the model on a specific type of medical language,
Mm-hmm.
like research papers versus patient records,
Yeah.
made it more adept at handling similar tasks later on.
It's like if you want to be a world-class chef, you don't just learn to cook everything. You specialize in a specific cuisine.
Exactly.
Right.
This suggests that we could develop even more specialized AI models in the future,
Wow.
each finely tuned for a specific medical domain or task. The possibilities are endless.
Okay, so far BioMistral-NLU sounds pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But let's be real.
Hmm.
No AI is perfect.
Right.
What are some of the limitations the researchers identified?
That's a great point. While BioMistral-NLU shows immense promise,
Right.
it's important to remember that it's still under development.
Right.
The researchers acknowledge that it still makes mistakes,
Okay.
particularly when faced with those nuanced, ambiguous aspects of medical language.
So it's not going to be replacing doctors anytime soon.
It's not at all. Human expertise, critical thinking, and empathy are irreplaceable in healthcare.
Right.
AI should be viewed as a powerful tool to enhance human capabilities, not replace them.
Okay.
It's a collaboration where AI can process vast amounts of data
Yeah.
and identify patterns.
Right.
But ultimately, the decision-making and patient care rests with human experts.
It's like having a brilliant research assistant who can analyze information quickly and thoroughly.
Yes,
But the doctor still makes the final diagnosis and treatment plan.
exactly. And the researchers are already hard at work exploring ways to improve BioMistral-NLU's accuracy.
Okay.
One promising approach is incorporating more detailed annotation guidelines during training,
Oh, yeah.
giving the model even clearer instructions and examples to learn from.
It's like providing it with a super detailed medical textbook instead of just a glossary of terms.
Precisely. Another exciting area is using knowledge bases,
Okay.
giving the AI access to vast repositories of medical knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
like textbooks, research articles, and even patient data.
It's like giving it access to a medical library at its fingertips.
Exactly.
That could really boost its accuracy and help it make more informed decisions.
Absolutely.
So as we advance this technology, it's crucial to consider the ethical implications.
Exactly. It's like navigating uncharted territory.
Yeah.
We need to proceed with caution,
Right.
ensuring that AI is developed and deployed in a way that benefits all patients
Absolutely.
and aligns with our values.
So it's not just about making AI smarter, it's about making it more human-centered
Yes.
and ethical in its application.
Well said. Now, one of the fascinating things the researchers explored was how
Okay.
BioMistral-NLU's performance was affected by the specific type of data it was trained on.
Oh, so like whether it was trained on scientific research papers or patient records from a clinic,
Yes.
that makes sense that the type of data would matter.
Exactly. And they found some pretty interesting results.
Okay.
For instance, training on biomedical data generally led to better performance on similar tasks later on. It's like saying if you want a model to excel at analyzing research papers, it makes sense to train it primarily on research papers.
Right. It's all about specialization.
Exactly.
But didn't you mention earlier that mixing data types sometimes hurt performance?
Yes.
I'm a little confused about when mixing data is good or bad.
That's a great question, and it highlights just how nuanced this research is.
Okay.
Sometimes mixing data types can be helpful.
Right.
For example, if you want a model to be good at a wide range of tasks,
Yeah.
exposing it to different types of language can be beneficial.
Okay.
But in other cases, focusing on one specific domain can lead to better performance within that domain.
Right.
It's like saying, if you want to be a world-class chef, you don't just learn to cook everything, you specialize in a particular cuisine.
Ah, I see. So it's like there are different strategies for training these AI models,
Right.
depending on what you want them to be good at.
Exactly.
Sometimes specialization is key,
Yes,
but sometimes a broader approach is better.
precisely. And the researchers behind BioMistral-NLU are really pushing the boundaries of our understanding of how to train these models effectively.
Yeah.
They're not just throwing data at the problem, they're carefully considering what types of data will lead to the best results for specific tasks.
That's really impressive. It sounds like they're really taking a scientific approach to AI development,
Yeah,
which is crucial in a field as important as healthcare.
absolutely.
Now, I know we talked about the limitations of BioMistral-NLU earlier,
Mm.
but I'm curious to hear more about the specific areas where it still needs to improve.
Okay.
No AI is perfect, really.
That's right. And the researchers were very transparent about the areas where BioMistral NLU
Okay.
needs further development.
Yeah.
One of the challenges they identified is accurately identifying the boundaries of medical entities in text.
So, like knowing where one medical term ends and another begins, that sounds tricky.
It is. Imagine trying to decipher a complex medical phrase like acute myeloid leukemia.
Right.
To truly understand what's being said, the AI needs to recognize that all three words belong together as a single entity.
That makes sense if the model only picks up acute leukemia.
Right.
It's missing crucial information.
Exactly. They found that BioMistral NLU sometimes makes errors in these boundary delineations, which can impact how well it performs other tasks.
It's like missing a crucial piece of a puzzle that throws off the whole picture, but they're working on improving this, right?
Absolutely. They believe that incorporating more detailed annotation guidelines during training could provide the model with clearer boundaries and definitions.
Okay.
It's like giving a student a more precise ruler for measuring and marking those crucial entities.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, what about those tasks where the model has to figure out how different medical concepts are connected within a text?
Okay.
Like if a patient record mentions a specific symptom and a potential diagnosis,
Yeah.
can the AI recognize that those two things are related?
That's called relationship extraction. It's a crucial aspect of medical language understanding. It seems BioMistral NLU has a bit of an overachiever problem in this area.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
It tends to be a bit too enthusiastic about identifying relationships,
Okay.
sometimes flagging connections that aren't actually present in the text.
So it's like an eager beaver student who raises their hand for every question,
Yes,
even if they're not entirely sure of the answer.
exactly. It's a common challenge in AI.
Yeah.
Finding that balance between recognizing all the true relationships without generating too many false positives.
Right. You don't want to miss any crucial connections, but you also don't want to create a bunch of unnecessary noise.
Mm.
It's like in medical diagnosis, you don't want to overlook a serious condition, but you also don't want to alarm a patient with false positives.
Precisely, the researchers believe that adding a self-verification step could help address this issue.
Okay.
It's like having the model double-check its own work before raising the flag, so to speak.
Yeah. That's a clever approach. So it's like having a built-in quality control system for the AI. Now, what about those tasks where the model has to judge how similar two pieces of text are? In meaning, how did BioMistral NLU perform in that area?
That's called semantic text similarity, and it's another crucial aspect of medical language understanding.
Okay.
It seems BioMistral NLU is a bit hesitant to make strong judgments in this area.
Okay.
It tends to favor middle-of-the-road similarity scores, not being bold enough in declaring things as very similar or very different.
So it's like a judge who's afraid to give a definitive ruling,
Yeah.
always hedging their bets.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
The researchers believe that integrating external knowledge bases could help the model make more confident judgments about semantic similarity.
So giving it more context to understand the subtle shades of meaning in medical language.
Exactly. Now, all of these limitations might sound a bit discouraging,
Right.
but it's actually quite the opposite.
Okay.
Identifying these weaknesses is essential for guiding future research and pushing the boundaries of what's possible with medical AI.
It's like saying, okay, we've come this far, but here's where we need to focus our efforts next. It's all part of the scientific process, constantly striving for improvement.
Precisely. And the researchers are already exploring some really exciting avenues for improvement, for example. They're looking at ways to incorporate more detailed annotation guidelines during training, providing the model with even clearer instructions and examples to learn from.
It's like giving it a super detailed medical textbook complete with diagrams, case studies, and expert commentary instead of just a basic dictionary of terms.
Exactly. Another exciting area of exploration is the use of knowledge bases. Imagine giving the AI access to vast repositories of medical knowledge, like textbooks, research articles, and even patient data.
Yeah.
It's like giving the model a team of expert consultants to call on whenever it needs help.
That's a powerful image. It's like having a medical library at its fingertips, constantly updated with the latest information.
Precisely. And the researchers are also looking into techniques like self-verification, where the model double-checks its own work to reduce errors and common sense reasoning, which would help it understand the world beyond just medical terminology.
So it's not just about making the AI smarter, it's about making it more human-like in its thinking, able to reason, contextualize, and make judgments that align with human intuition and expertise.
Exactly, and that's what's so exciting about this research.
Mhm.
It's not just about building a more powerful AI, it's about building an AI that can truly work in partnership with humans to improve healthcare for everyone.
And that brings us to the big question. How might these developments in medical AI impact patients and the healthcare system as a whole? What's the potential real-world impact of all this cutting-edge technology?
That's the question we should always be asking. How will this technology actually make a difference in people's lives? And the potential benefits are truly exciting.
Yeah.
Imagine a world where AI can instantly analyze your medical records, flagging potential risks or suggesting diagnoses that might otherwise be missed.
That could be life-saving, especially in situations where time is of the essence.
Absolutely. AI could also play a major role in personalizing treatment plans, tailoring them to each patient's individual genetic makeup, lifestyle, and medical history.
Like having a custom designed treatment plan instead of a one-size-fits-all approach, that's incredible. And I imagine AI could also be a game changer for doctors, helping them stay up to date on the latest research and medical advancements.
Exactly. AI-powered tools could act as virtual assistants, constantly scanning the latest medical journals, analyzing clinical trials, and providing doctors with the most relevant and up-to-date information.
It's like having a medical library at your fingertips, constantly updated with the latest knowledge. That would be a huge benefit for both doctors and patients.
Absolutely.
No.
But as with any powerful technology, we need to be mindful of the potential downsides.
Right. It's not all sunshine and roses. There are always risks and challenges to consider.
One important consideration is the potential impact of AI on the doctor-patient relationship. We need to ensure that AI tools are used to enhance, not replace the human connection that is so essential to healthcare.
It's about finding that balance between leveraging the power of technology and preserving the human touch that makes healthcare truly compassionate and effective.
Precisely. And we need to be very careful about the data that's used to train these AI models if the data reflects existing biases or inequalities in the healthcare system. Those biases could be amplified by the AI.
That's a crucial point. We don't want AI to exacerbate existing health disparities.
Exactly. We need to ensure that AI is used to promote health equity and make healthcare more accessible and equitable for everyone.
So it's a lot to consider, but the potential benefits are enormous. It sounds like we're on the cusp of a major transformation in healthcare thanks to the power of AI.
I agree, and I think BioMistral-NLU is a prime example of the incredible progress that's being made in medical AI. It's a model that can truly understand the complexities of medical language, opening up a world of possibilities for improving diagnoses, treatments, and patient care.
It's been an incredible journey exploring the capabilities of BioMistral NLU and the broader implications of AI in healthcare.
It has, and I think the key takeaway for our listeners is this: we're witnessing a paradigm shift in healthcare, driven by the power of artificial intelligence. While there are certainly challenges and ethical considerations to address, the potential benefits are truly transformative.
Absolutely. And we need to approach this new era with both excitement and caution, ensuring that AI is developed and deployed responsibly, ethically, and with a focus on improving the lives of all patients.
Well said. And on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive into the fascinating world of medical AI.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of The Deep Dive. We hope you found this exploration of BioMistral NLU and the future of AI in healthcare informative and engaging. As always, you can find links to the research paper and other resources mentioned in the show notes.
And be sure to let us know your thoughts and questions in the comments section. We'd love to hear from you.
Until next time, stay curious.